Greetings, all you manics, minds, and crimes, and today, talking about some more SCP stuff. It's been quite a long time since I've talked about any SCPs, but today I'm just going to be talking about my opinions on a rather popular SCP. Of course, that is SCP-682, the Hard Destroy Reptile. That guy. You know, the dude that hates all life and will stop at nothing to kill all of it. Here's the thing about 682. It's a terrible article. It's not well done at all. So, the article is rather old, and there's nothing wrong with old articles. Some of them are fine, but could definitely use a rework. SCP-049 recently got a rewrite, and its rewrite is very good. I've always liked 049, but he's even better now, and they could definitely do something about 682. So, in its special containment procedures for 682, it says that it must be destroyed as soon as possible. That is not what the SCP Foundation is about. They pride themselves with not destroying any SCPs. They might destroy -1 instances, -2 instances of SCPs, say for like SCP-939 instances, but for the most part, what they contain, they will not destroy. Even though a lot of people say, oh, why don't you just kill it, like SCP-096, because some people are like, oh, it gets out, it causes an XK. No, 096 would not cause an XK. He wouldn't. And you know how you contain 096? Throw him into space. Easy. He will never come back. Never. So, 682 cannot be destroyed. Cannot be, well, it can be harmed, but it will always regenerate. Now, my problem with that is that the regeneration gets a bit ridiculous. Regenerating from bullets and explosions, I'm fine with that. Regenerating with like only 5% of its body left, fine. That's approaching like Cell or Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z level of regeneration, which is completely fine, or Deadpool if you will. But even complete and utter atomization won't kill it. So that begs the question, what exactly is 682? Well, if you go by some tales, 682 is in fact one of the sons of the Scarlet King, a higher dimensional being that dimensions don't matter because it's infinities upon infinities. So, yeah. So it's basically like a universal constant. You can't kill it. But that's only in the tales. The article is super short. And it says it's a vaguely reptilian creature. Is it vaguely reptilian, or does it look like a reptile? Because some depictions, it looks like a giant crocodile. Other times, it looks somewhat closer to a dragon without wings. Other times, it doesn't look like either of those. So what does it exactly look like? And then there's also the personality of 682. It is so one-minded. He is incredibly intelligent. He's apparently has insane amounts of intelligence because he can talk, and he talks a lot and very rudely. But all he ever expresses is to want to kill humans. That's not how you do a monster. Why does he want to? Oh, because he hates all life. Why does he hate all life? Why? Why all the hate? Is he not of himself alive in some stance? Even if he is the avatar of a higher dimensional being, he is still alive. He is still alive in some respect, just a respect that we cannot fathom, because it's higher dimensional. So, again, I ask the question, why does he hate all life? And also, if he is the son of the Scarlet King, if he is one of the children of the Scarlet King, why hasn't the Scarlet King invaded this lower dimensional plane and destroyed it? If the Scarlet King is an infinitely dimensional being that has defeated other infinitely dimensional beings, why hasn't the Scarlet King already destroyed this reality? Why has 682 not destroy this reality? Don't you think you could summon some part of its real form and just wipe all of existence out? Because it could, because that's how higher dimensions work. If you never read DC Comics, Darkseid's true form fell on the multiverse and it was collapsing in on itself. And he is only a fifth dimensional being. So if a part of an infinitely dimensional being were to land on the third dimension, our dimension, it's all gone. Every reality, every universe that is third dimensional and above is gone. And 682 hasn't done this. Why? So, in some tales and also some videos, I'm mostly talking about Tat's top 10 videos, where they were doing like interviews with 682. They tried to give him a bit more of a personality, and so far, especially his relationship with 079, it's pretty interesting. But even then, the article itself of SCP-682 on the Wiki, it needs to be reworked. So, he needs to have actual motives. He needs to actually have a personality. Because Crush, Kill, Destroy is not a personality. It's a one-track character trait. Also, his regeneration is kind of Gary Stu. Because he literally cannot die. Now, to our third-dimensional selves, his true form is immortal. Because we could never touch it. Never. We couldn't even fathom it. It'd be like looking upon the face of Cthulhu from the H.P. Lovecraft universe. You couldn't fathom. So, yeah, but an avatar, a third-dimensional avatar that we can actually interact with and talk to and hurt, we should be able to kill. But 682 in the tales and in the article, as short as it is, literally can't die. Also, I have a problem with its containment. It's in hydrochloric acid, and that's supposed to slow or stop its regeneration. Okay. Hydrochloric acid, here's some chemistry, is actually pretty weak. It's a pretty weak acid. You know what's a strong acid? Sulfuric acid. You know what's an even stronger acid? Fluoroantamonic acid. So, battery acid has a pH of about 0. Fluoroantamonic acid has a pH of about -35. What does that mean? It's 1 billion times stronger than pure sulfuric acid. And the only thing that can resist it is Teflon. So why isn't 682 in a Teflon container filled with fluoroantamonic acid? I don't know. And also, I've always had a theory that, you're probably going to call me stupid for this, but maybe 682 has some sort of effect on people that make them want to kill it. That they feel like it's such a big threat that they need to kill it. Or, we're idiots and we pissed off an immortal god. Maybe, just maybe, if we show it some, affection in a way, let it talk to 079 every now and then. Don't try to kill it every week. Don't you think it might be a little bit easier to contain? Maybe it wouldn't hate us too much, because I might be misunderstanding this guy. But if I was immortal and someone kept trying to kill me, I would hate them. I would absolutely hate them and want to see them suffer. But that's just me. 682, even though it is one of the more popular articles, it's kind of garbage. And we don't even really have a good picture of what this guy looks like. There are so many depictions of what he looks like. Maybe he looks different for every person. That's a possibility. Anyway, 682 could definitely use a rewrite, and in his article, there should be some other stuff about him. Now, other interactions that he had with other SCPs, like SCP-053, the little girl, the young girl, was very interesting, but I don't know. We don't really get a lot of information, and this is my problem with Series 1 SCPs. They are too damn vague. They're way too damn vague. You can be a little bit vague, but you gotta give some substance. You have to. Now, of course, if you're talking about higher dimensions, then you have no choice to be vague, because you cannot possibly describe higher dimensions in third-dimensional tongue. That is a big thing in the Cthulhu mythos. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, because I'm talking about higher dimensions in 682. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on 682. I don't know why he hasn't gotten a rewrite. Same thing with 173. Hell, a lot of the Series 1 articles would definitely do good with a nice rewrite, a nice touch-up. Because 049 was a decent article. Got the point across. It's cool. But then he got a rewrite. And his character just expanded. And now 049 is just, he's great. There's a lot more under that mask. And maybe there is a whole lot more to 682 that we just don't understand yet. Because, again, there's not a lot of information on him. He doesn't talk about himself. And lazy writers. It's mostly lazy writers. And seriously, 682 is too fucking overpowered. Maybe it'd be something like, I don't know, Abel, where, you can kill him, but he'll just come back. Where you kill him as a sort of containment for a month or so, but then he comes back. I would be fine with that. I think that'd be a good middle ground. But at the same time, the SCP Foundation is not focused on destroying artifacts, these objects, these entities. I forget which group of interest it is, but there is one that's all it does. I forget what it's called. But anyway, yeah, 682 needs a rewrite. He needs one. He absolutely does. Because he could be one of the most interesting SCPs, but right now he's just a big boring lizard, and no one likes a big boring lizard. Anyway, that's all I had to say about 682. I hope you'd enjoyed this sort of ranting video about my opinions on this guy, on this SCP, and let me know what you think of 682. Do you share my thoughts? Do you think the article is just the best article to ever exist? I really hope you don't think so, because it isn't. And Series 1 as a whole. I want to know what you guys think about Series 1 as a whole. Which SCPs do you think could use a rewrite? Me personally, I wouldn't mind to see a bit of a rewrite or added on to like SCP-079. There should be some more information about him, how the AI became 093 could use a bit more to it. Even though that's a very good article. Because why not? Why not add a bit? There's probably in some tales, but come on. We shouldn't have to read tales. And by the way, the loose canonicity of the SCP Foundation just makes things so inconsistent. I don't mind a loose canon, but my god, it gets confusing after a while. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, in Trilby, we trust.